Fit drives both competitive advantage and sustainability. Positioning choices determine not only which activities a company will perform and how it will configure individual activities, but also how activities relate to one another. While operational effectiveness is about achieving excellence in individual activities or functions, strategy is about combining activities. Southwest Rapid Gate Turnaround, which allows frequent departures and greater use of aircraft, is essential to its high convenience, low-cost positioning. But how does Southwest achieve it? Part of the answer lies in the company's well-paid gate and ground crews, whose productivity in turnarounds is enhanced by flexible union rules. But the bigger part of the answer lies in how Southwest performs other activities. With no meals, no seat assignment, and no interim baggage transfers, Southwest avoids having to perform activities that slow down other airlines. It selects airport and route to avoid congestion that introduces delays. Southwest's strict limits on the type and length of route make standardized aircraft possible. Every aircraft Southwest turns is a Boeing 737. What is Southwest's core competence? Its key success factors. The correct answer is that everything matters. Southwest's strategy involves a whole system of activities, not a collection of parts. Its competitive advantage comes from the way its activities fit and reinforce one another. Southwest's strategy involves a whole system of activities, not a collection of parts. Its competitive advantage comes from the way its activities fit and reinforce one another. Pitt locks out imitators by creating a chain that is as strong as its strongest link. As in most companies with good strategies, Southwest activities complement one another in ways that create real economic value. One activity's cost, for example, is lowered because of the way other activities are performed. Similarly, one activity's value to customers can be enhanced by a company's other activities. That is the way strategic fit creates competitive advantage and superior profitability. Types of fit. The importance of fit among functional policies is one of the oldest ideas in strategy. Gradually, however, it has been supplanted on the management agenda. Rather than seeing the company as a whole, managers have turned to core competencies, critical resources, and key success factors. In fact, fit is a far more central component of competitive advantage than most realize. Fit is important because discrete activities often affect one another. A sophisticated sales force, for example, confers a greater advantage when the company's product embodies premium technology and its marketing approach emphasizes customer assistance and support. A production line with higher levels of model variety is more valuable when combined with an inventory and order processing system that minimizes the need for stocking finished goods, a sales process equipped to explain and encourage customization, and an advertising theme that stresses the benefits of product variations that meet the customer's special needs. Such complementarities are pervasive in strategy. Although some fit among activities is generic and applies to many companies, the most valuable fit is strategy specific because it enhances a position's uniqueness, and amplifies trade-offs. There are three types of fit, although they are not mutually exclusive. First order fit is simple consistency between each activity and the overall strategy. Vanguard, for example, aligns all activities with its low-cost strategy. It minimizes portfolio turnover and does not need highly compensated money managers. The company distributes its funds directly, avoiding commission to brokers. It also limits advertising, relying instead on public relations and word-of-mouth recommendations. Vanguard ties its employees' bonuses to cost savings. Consistency ensures that the competitive advantage of activities accumulate and do not erode or cancel themselves out. It makes the strategy easier to communicate to customers, employees, and shareholders, and improves implementation through single-mindedness in the corporation. Second-order fit occurs when activities are reinforcing. Neutrogena, for example, markets to upscale hotels eager to offer their guests the soap recommended by dermatologists. Hotels grant Neutrogena the privilege of using its customary packaging while requiring other soaps to feature the hotel's name. Once guests have tried Neutrogena in a luxury hotel, they are more likely to purchase it at the drugstore or ask their doctor about it. Thus, Neutrogena's medical and hotel marketing activities reinforce one another, lowering total marketing cost. In another example, big corporation sells a narrow line of standard, low-priced pens to virtually all major customer markets, retail, commercial, promotional, and a giveaway, through virtually all available channels. As with any variety-based positioning, serving a broad group of customers, Big emphasizes a common needs, low price for an acceptable pen, and uses marketing approaches with a broad reach, a large sales force, and heavy television advertising. Big gains the benefit of consistency across nearly all activities, including product design that emphasizes ease of manufacturing, plants configured for low cost, aggressive purchasing to minimize material cost, and in-house part production whenever the economics dictate. Yet, Big goes beyond simple consistency because its activities are reinforcing. For example, the company uses point-of-sale displays and frequent packaging changes to stimulate impulse buying. To handle point-of-sale tasks, a company needs a large sales force. Big is the largest in its industry, and it handles point-of-sale activities better than its rivals do. Moreover, the combination of point-of-sale activity, heavy television advertising, and packaging changes yield far more impulse buying than any activity in isolation could. Third-order fit goes beyond activity reinforcement to what I call optimization of effort. The Gap, a retailer of casual clothes, considers product availability in its stores a critical element of its strategy. The Gap could keep products either by holding store inventories or by restocking from warehouses. The Gap has optimized its effort across these activities by restocking its selection of basic clothing almost daily out of three warehouses, thereby minimizing the need to carry large in-store inventories. The emphasis is on restocking because the Gap's merchandising strategy sticks to basic items in relatively few colors, while comparable retailers achieve turns of 3 to 4 times per year. The Gap turns its inventory 7.5 times per year. Rapid restocking, moreover, reduces the cost of implementing the Gap's short model cycle, which is 6 to 8 weeks long. Coordination and information exchange across activities to eliminate redundancy and minimize wasted efforts are the most basic types of effort optimization. But there are higher levels as well. Product design choices, for example, can eliminate the need for after-sales service or make it possible for customers to perform service activities themselves. Similarly, coordination with suppliers or distribution channels can eliminate the need for some in-house activities, such as end-user training. In all three types of PIT, the whole matters more than any individual part. Competitive advantage grows out of the entire system of activities. The PIT among activities substantially reduces cost or increases differentiation. Beyond that, the competitive value of individual activities or the associated skills, competencies, or resources cannot be decoupled from the system or the strategy. Thus, in competitive companies, it can be misleading to explain success by specifying individual strengths, core competencies, or critical resources. The list of strengths cuts across many functions, and one strength blends into others. It is more useful to think in terms of themes that pervade many activities, such as low cost, a particular notion of customer service, or a particular conception of the value delivered. These themes are embodied in nest of tightly linked activities. Fit and sustainability. Strategic fit among many activities is fundamental not only to competitive advantage, but also to the sustainability of that advantage. It's harder for Libre to match an array of interlocked activities than it's merely to imitate a particular Salesforce approach, match a process technology, or replicate a set of product features. Positions built on systems of activities are far more sustainable than those built on individual activities. Strategic fit among many activities is fundamental not only to competitive advantage, but also to the sustainability of that advantage. It is harder for Libre to match an array of interact activities than it is merely to imitate a particular Salesforce approach, match a process technology, or replicate a set of product features. Positions built on systems of activities are far more sustainable than those built on individual activities. Consider this simple exercise. The probability that competitors can match any activity is often less than 1. The probabilities then quickly compound to make matching the entire system highly unlikely. Existing companies that try to reposition or straddle will be forced to reconfigure many activities. And even new entrants, though they do not confront the trade-offs facing established rivals, still face formidable barriers to imitation. The more a company's positioning rests on activity systems with second and third order fit, the more sustainable its advantage will be. Such systems, by their very nature, are usually difficult to untangle from outside the company and therefore hard to imitate. And even if rivals can identify the relevant interconnections, they will have difficulty replicating them. Achieving fit is difficult because it requires the integration of decisions and actions across many independent subunits. A competitor seeking to match an activity system gains little by imitating only some activities and not matching the whole. Performance does not improve, it can decline. Recall Continental Light's disastrous attempt to imitate Southwest. Finally, fit among a company's activities creates pressures and incentives to improve operational effectiveness, which makes imitation even harder. Fit means that poor performance in one activity will degrade the performance in others, so that weaknesses are exposed and more prone to get attention. Conversely, improvements in one activity will pay dividends in others. Companies with a strong fit among their activities are rarely inviting targets. Their superiority in strategy and in execution only compound their advantages and raises the hurdle for imitators. When activities complement one another, rivals will get little benefit from imitation unless they successfully match the whole system. Such situations tend to promote winner-take-all competition. The company that builds the best activity system, Toys R Us for example, wins while rivals with similar strategies fall behind. Thus, finding a new strategic position is often preferable to being the second or third imitator of an occupied position. The most viable positions are those whose activity systems are incompatible because of trade-offs. Strategic positioning sets the trade-off rules that define how individual activities will be configured and integrated. Seeing strategy in terms of activity systems only makes it clearly why organizational structure, system, and processes need to be strategy specific. Tailoring organization to strategy, in turn, makes complementaries more achievable and contribute to sustainability. One implication is that strategic position should have a horizon of a decade or more, not over a single planning cycle. Continuity fosters improvements in individual activities and the fit across activities, allowing an organization to build unique capabilities and skills tailored to its strategy. Continuity also reinforces a company's identity. Conversely, frequent shifts in positioning are costly. Not only must the company reconfigure individual activities, but it must also realign entire systems. Some activities may never catch up to the backslating strategy. Some activities may never catch up to the backslating strategy. The, in, the inevitable result of frequent shift in strategy or of failure to choose a distinct position in the first place is me-too or hedged activity configurations. Some activities may never catch up to the backslating strategy. The inevitable result of frequent shift in strategy or of failure to choose a distinct position in the first place is me-too or hedged activity configurations, inconsistencies across functions, and organizational dissonance. What is strategy? We can now complete the answer to this question. Strategy is creating fit among a company's activities. The success of a strategy depends on doing many things well, not just a few, and integrating among them. If there is no fit among activities, there is no distinctive strategy and little sustainability. Management reverts to the simpler task of overseeing independent functions, and operational effectiveness determines an organization's relative performance.